Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Real Talk Anime Podcast. We're back again this week for, I believe, episode 13. And today's a special day because obviously we have our regular host. That's me, Anise, aka Link. We got Cooper, aka Brook.
Hello.
Carter, aka Corbett.
Hello.
But we got two special guests today for you guys. We got from the Weebaholics podcast, we got Chris.
Hello, what's up?
And we also got Rashid.
What's up?
So these guys are pretty sick. They've been doing their podcast, I think, for about the same length as ours, right? Like pretty much from the end of summer.
Yeah. End of August, start September.
Yeah, and we were really happy to be on an episode a couple weeks ago. I think it dropped this week, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I dropped it earlier this week, but that was from like almost a month ago.
Yeah. So we were on one of their episodes, and now they're on our podcast. We're super hyped for this. And you know, if you want to hear more about us and them in terms of our podcast and about us, definitely go check out their channel. It's Anime Gensho, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Gensho.
Yep. And you guys can plug your Instagram if you want here or whatever else you want to plug. Go ahead.
Okay, so you can go follow our anime Instagram at anime_Gensho. You can go follow his photography page, Eyes Dive and Lens. I'm working on getting a spot. Our Spotify should be up by the end of next week. I'm trying to do some other stuff. And that's it right now. And YouTube, obviously, anime_Gensho.
Of course, yeah. Please go subscribe to them. They're sick. They put out a lot more podcasts than us, so you can definitely get some consistent content. Okay. But yeah, so today we're really happy to bring these guys on. We're going to be doing a winter 2021 kind of season summary overview, whatever. We have a list of shows here, and we're basically just going to be talking about, you know, how great this season actually was and how kind of overpowered this shit was. But before we dive into the first one on the list, I just want to like kind of ask all of you guys, like, wasn't this season like actually insane? Like,
low key, especially after what we just came out of in the dry summer and the spring. I mean, due to COVID.
Yeah.
Like it was really really good.
Yeah, like you gonna say something, Rashid?
Say that again?
I thought you were gonna say something.
Oh no.
Oh, okay, my bad. So basically what I was gonna say was just basically like, dude, like the summer we had like a few shows. People were talking about Rent a Girlfriend a lot. We had, you know, this, that, whatever. But there wasn't really anything too crazy. You know, maybe some people really were looking forward to the second season of ReZero. Fall, maybe you had like Haikyuu if you like that. Few things, right? But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, you get all these shows. I know you're not on the Attack on Titan bandwagon, but we got like Attack on Titan. We got so much shit, right? And even honestly, even with just like half of the shows that we got, half of the lineup, I think this would still be a crazy season for like compared to the last 2 years of seasons.
Facts.
Yeah.
I can't even remember a single show that came out in the fall, other than like Jujutsu Kaisen that came out. Like literally.
Let me think. I'm at fall.
There was
ReZero, right?
No, that was summer,
that was they took the break in the fall.
That was summer.
Yeah,
that was also summer.
Oh, there was the wedding one. What was that called? Like the marriage?
Oh, Tonikaku Kawaii.
Tonikaku Kawaii. That was okay. Actually,
but not everyone watched that.
No.
Was there like a single show that like everyone like, you know, kind of was on?
Just Jujutsu.
Yeah, Jujutsu was good. Yeah.
Damn. Okay. Yeah. Well, this season we didn't have that problem.
Well, we still had Jujutsu though, so can't stop talking about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yeah, let me tell these guys. So basically, there's kind of like an ongoing joke on our show where somehow, in some way, Jujutsu Kaisen is always spoken about every single episode.
We somehow always come back to Jujutsu Kaisen.
And that is not. That cycle is not broken in episode 13. because funny enough, the first thing on our list of shows that we're going to talk about is in fact Jujutsu Kaisen. so yeah, I think for anyone that didn't know, Jujutsu Kaisen is pretty much wrapping up its second core of the first season. It's a show that was it was a manga that was pretty big in the Shonen Jump as far as I know. And yeah, pretty much it had a lot of hype around it. What did you guys think of like the first part, like the fall part of the show?
I loved it more than I loved the second part of the show.
Really?
Yes, I did. I love the build up. I you know, the intro's heat, man.
That's
The
fair.
intro
That's
is
true.
crazy.
The
Like,
intro,
that
yeah.
intro's in my my workout playlist. Like, it's a heat intro. The art style's great. And you know, the funny thing was, I think I loved it so much because me and Rashid came up to visit for the first, like when the first 3 episodes were out or something like that. So
Yeah,
we just sat down and watched it together. I think I also made it more fun or whatever. Bro, watching anime.
that makes sense. Yeah.
So it was just a really good, like, I'm not gonna say it was something completely new and different. Like we haven't seen some type of storyline, but it was just really like it had, the Bleach art style with the Naruto in there with the Black Clover. Like it was just combined.
Like the best parts of a bunch of different shows almost.
Yeah, it was kind of refreshing in a way.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason, that shonen kind of never gets old because it's literally just the perfect formula,
Yeah.
So, honestly, for me, the first core or whatever you want to call it, first part was, I felt like it was good. I definitely liked the show, but it wasn't like, yeah, you said it didn't feel like it was super original. So
Yeah.
I was watching this and I felt like if there was more competition for good shows in that season, I might have actually fallen behind in Jujutsu Kaisen just because it was good, but not like personally, I didn't think it was like the best or anything like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then the contrast for me is that this season, and all of a sudden, I'm watching this stuff every single Friday. As soon as it comes out, I'm tracking the times and everything. I don't know what's changed. I mean, there's so much more competition this season, and I feel like it's so much better. I don't know what changed.
I feel like to me, there's just a lot. Like we had more time to grow fond of all the characters in the show. There's been more time to delve into how the combat systems work and how it all fits together. Like in
That's
one of the
true.
more recent episodes, we got to see the Sasuke of the show. I can't remember his name. The guy with the dogs.
Yeah.
He's great. I love him.
Yeah,
Oh,
and he
that
pulled
episode
out
was crazy.
his like domain thing.
Oh
It was
yeah,
really
his
crude
domain
Yeah,
domain
expansion.
expansion. That was so sick.
The battle mechanics are starting to get like more interesting and like really cool to watch. We know a lot more characters now. Feels like there's a lot more weight to what the villains are doing. Like we actually had like a huge showdown with that plant person.
Oh yeah, true. Like during like the tuning exam forest phase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally a huge, more than like 1 or 2 battles every single episode. It's just been hype. I don't know.
Every character's like super unique too.
Yeah, that
Very.
Yeah, I
the
really,
the fighting is so clean. Like,
dude, yes.
Lord, it's just
Satisfying.
I really loved the fight with I forget his name, but the big bodybuilder student
Yeah.
guy.
yeah.
And
Best
I mean, I
friend.
love the dynamic.
Best
First of
friend,
all.
yeah.
I love the best friendo dynamic thing. Holy, that's so funny. But then just like the fact that they fight so well with each other, the whole like what was it, like snapping his fingers or something like that?
He
Or was it
clapping his
clapping?
hands.
Clap, yeah.
Yeah. The whole clapping to teleport type thing. I thought that was so cool, and it was so well animated. The fights were so clean. The music was really good, and it was just like, oh my god, this is some quality shonen. Like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We also finally get to find out what that panda guy was all about.
Yeah.
I've been wondering about ever since we saw that guy in the OP in episode 1. I'm like, dude, what is the panda doing in this show? And he finally gets his big moment. He turns into a gorilla. It's not even a panda thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that panda was good. Like,
I like
I don't
the
know, that
panda.
fight was just so dope. Like, just to see like, I forgot the other dude's name. I suck at remembering anime.
Yeah, us too. Don't worry about it.
But it's just like that fight was clean. But I had a question. I had 2 questions. Do you think that Jujutsu Kaisen will be a long running, like 200, 400 plus show?
That's a good question. Do we know how long the manga might be?
I
Well,
have no idea.
Wait,
I
is
have
it a
no idea
manga?
how
I
long the
don't even
source
know if it is
material
a
is.
manga.
Here's my take, okay? I think that like, when was the last time we've gotten a show that long, right?
Oh,
I don't think I
Black
don't,
Clover?
other than maybe like Black Clover.
yeah.
I can think of like a few of those like kind of older shows, like that detective show. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like
Like,
Detective
that's
Conan,
so-
like
7,000.
Yeah. Like some of those shows that are still ongoing. Obviously, you got One Piece, but I mean
Yeah.
that's and like other than that, there hasn't really been like a new show that's gone for more than like, I don't know, maybe like Attack on Titan length, right? Like 70 episodes or something like that.
My hero.
Hero, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
So I think considering that the amount of shows that do this are low, my opinion, or like just my guess, is just that probably it's going to be like a few seasons, kind of like like My Hero, maybe Haikyuu, stuff like that. And then at some point it might go on hiatus or something like that.
Well,
But I
plus
definitely
you have to
feel
also consider the fact that there's so many fillers in Naruto and
that's
Bleach.
true.
Like Naruto
Yeah.
and
And
Bleach were,
that's like really pumps up the episode count
Yeah.
for those guys.
every week
Yeah.
they came out with a new episode, whether or not it had to do with the story, right? So
Yeah. So
Imagine
like
like going on like a 40 episode, you get straight filler week by week. Like,
I mean, like 90% of the Boruto anime right now is just fillers, right?
Yeah.
yeah,
Like
Yeah.
if Boruto, because obviously I'm a big Naruto fan. If Boruto was as much or more canon show like episodes than Naruto was, because Naruto obviously had a lot of filler, but not nearly as much. Like proportionally, like just the percentage. Like
Yeah.
I think if it had more plot in it, or if the manga just had, because I think they were slowing down to let the manga progress, right?
yeah.
Like if the
Yeah.
manga just had more material to cover, I think that I would be watching Boruto right now. I started it. I actually watched quite a bit of it, and then at some point I was like, well, this is just boring.
That's
Yeah.
just as
I was the same way. It just got boring to me at some point. It was
Yeah.
it just got uninteresting.
Yeah, exactly. It's like okay, I'm be real with you. Like I skipped some of the Naruto fillers, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
like great series and everything, but like at some point it just gets boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like basically what I'm trying to say is that considering the fact that I don't know how many people are going to continue watching a brand new show like Jujutsu Kaisen if it just becomes mostly filler, and I don't know if we're going to get that long a show anytime soon. I think that we're definitely probably going to get at least another season. I mean, we haven't seen how this season ends. I think there's still 1 or 2 more episodes, right?
yeah.
I think 1.
So,
yeah, I think one's
Yeah.
left.
But I mean, depending on how it ends, I guess we might know more. But yeah, at least I think we're probably going to get a season 2 because technically this was only season 1. So
Yeah, technically
that was
that
like
was
1.5.
long.
yeah.
yeah, exactly. So to answer your question, 200 episodes. I think my guess, I have no idea though, is no. But I think that we're going to get at least a few seasons.
Yeah, I think
I
it's
feel like
gonna
we
be
might
like
get up to
Demon
like
Slayer.
80 or 100 episodes. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
maybe.
it's gonna run its course to whenever the manga ends. So
Fair
I
enough.
feel like
Yeah.
long running shows are starting to die out. That's
Yeah.
I've noticed. Like I've been seeing that for years now. Like these long running shows aren't what's selling now no more. Personally, I think that's how it goes.
No, you're right. Yeah, like most, even the biggest seasonals from the past few years, either something happens and they just can't do another season. Maybe a studio drops them and no one really wants to pick it back up for some reason,
Mhm.
or they just don't adapt the rest for no real reason.
Yeah, exactly.
like Code Geass, there was hype for like a third season or something for a bit of time, and then it just
Yeah.
disappeared.
I mean, yeah, didn't they do that like really bad? Like they did a really bad season or something. Didn't they do something like that, Cooper?
I remember feeling like the show literally had a complete ending after like the early the late 2010.
Season 2 was
Like,
so
Yeah, like season 2 just kind of like
Yeah.
it ended, right? And then they
Yeah.
made like the new season 3 thing, and I was like, how the hell are they gonna continue it from here? And
That thing was bad,
Yeah.
right?
I feel like everybody thought the same thing and then didn't really watch it. They're like, what are they doing with another season of this show? And then it was dropped.
Yeah, but now that I think about it, I mean, I definitely agree with Chris. And I still think that it's unlikely to get 200 plus episode shows. But now that I think about it, like shows like Haikyuu, I mean, I think we're getting at least 1 more season, and I think there's enough content for another one after that too.
I think Haikyuu is is gonna be the new king of shonen. That's my hot take.
Yeah, definitely king of sports, shonen.
No, what I mean by that is it's gonna be able to be like marketed to anybody.
Oh yeah. No, you're
Like,
right.
it'll be like the face of just anything, like girls, boys. That's what I mean by king.
No, you're right.
Like
Yeah,
how Naruto was at one point like at the top, and like anyone could get into Naruto. Everyone was watching Naruto.
Yeah, like that. That's what I mean by that.
no, you're right. Because now that I think about it, right, I try to get people on, for example, Attack on Titan, and they'll tell me I think it's too serious or it feels kind of boring at points or something like that, right?
Yeah.
You're never gonna have that problem in Haikyuu. Haikyuu's funny, but it's also serious, shonen, important moments, stuff like that.
Do you guys really think that Haikyuu is gonna be as popular at some point as Attack on Titan is this season, though?
As far as in pushing out for shonen demographic, yes.
No.
Overall,
Oh, yeah?
no.
Oh,
Because
No.
okay, yeah.
Attack on Titan isn't a shonen. When I think of shonen, I think of heartwarming story, kumbaya.
Yeah.
You send this to like 7th, 8th graders, little kids, girls,
Yeah.
boys, parents,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Attack on Titan, I think, is good for hardcore
certain
weebs, but
audience.
teenagers, like teenagers to adults, like hardcore weebs. But as far as you can put your face on this, I think Haikyuu has a better chance. But I wouldn't be surprised either way.
I mean, if I had a friend that had never watched anime and I want them to watch one anime specifically, and I had to pick between Attack on Titan and Haikyuu, even though, in my opinion, Attack on Titan is a better show, I still think that it would be easier, like you said, to dive into the rabbit hole starting with Haikyuu because it's more lighthearted. It's still interesting. It's more of an everyone show, you know?
Yeah, and you could kind of relate to most of the things they do in there since it's in a high school setting.
That's true. Most people are in or have been through high school who are going to be watching that show. So, yeah. But yeah, that's the Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen summary.
You went everywhere with that.
Zero conversation
Yeah.
about Jujutsu Kaisen.
But speaking of Attack on Titan, I mean, that's the next one we have on our list. So I guess we can just move on there.
Great
Yeah.
transition, yeah.
Dude, Rashid, I'm so sorry. You're about to get spoiled.
Wait. Chris said he has not caught up for a while. Rashid, where are you in the show?
I am sort of caught up. I have not watched the last 2 episodes that came out. I was going to watch
Okay.
it.
Okay, I got mixed
Okay.
up. Sorry, Chris.
Yeah.
You are gonna
Chris
get
is about to
spoiled.
get
I'm
Season
spoiled.
two,
sorry.
I'm not season 2, and I don't think I'm gonna pick it up. I'm not.
You
Gonna
don't
lie.
think so? We can talk about it then.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
not gonna be
yeah.
hurt.
We might be
Okay,
able to change
okay.
your opinion on it then.
Okay,
We might
so
hype it up enough.
I'll let Cooper start this because I know Cooper is probably the most serious Attack on Titan fan in this call.
Literally an Attack on Titan stan. I don't know, like it's just having seen like as like one of my first like real anime when I was like that kind of like really got me into it in middle school. It's just so rewarding to see all these years later everything finally coming together. The show sort of growing with its fans. It's more serious now. It has more like intricate plot lines and stuff. It still has its great moments where like insane action stuff happens. It just makes sense. It's just solid writing, solid action set pieces, and you're always on the edge of your seat wondering what's gonna happen in the next episode.
Yeah, I think that something that Attack on Titan does is kind of like similar to, you could draw a comparison to like Promised Neverland season 1, I think, where it's like that feeling of suspense and oh my god, what just happened? I have so many questions, but what's going to happen like right now, like next, is also like a pressing matter in your head.
And it always follows through. Like it always hits you with those moments where it's like, damn, that really just happened.
Yeah. It's also really hard to tell what's going to happen next. Like it's not at all predictable.
Yeah, I think one of the main causes for that is how they used Aaron in season 4. Because, for the past 3 seasons, he's like the protagonist, he's the main character, right?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
season 4, what happened to Aaron, bro? he's like sort of main antagonist now. Like, what happened?
He went through a whole phase.
Yeah, they
I
did
have a
like this
question, I have
whole
a question.
off-camera thing.
Yeah, sure.
And Chris,
So-
let me blow your mind for a second for how much the scope of the show really just widens past season 2 and 3
Mhm.
and season 1.
Mhm.
It like one of the examples of like one of the what the fuck moments that happened in season 4. You remember Armin?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know the Colossal Titan, right?
Yeah.
So Armin gets the Colossal Titan. He's now the Colossal Titan, right?
Right.
And then he uses it to literally like Hiroshima the outside world, because the outside world is a thing, and he just nuclear blasts them. And you see that, and you're like, "What the fuck, man?"
Dude,
I know.
dude
I know
basically
the
like Pearl
animation's
Harbor
nice
someone.
as fuck too. I know
It's
the
just-
animation's nice as fuck.
It's so nice. And like stuff like that's happening like almost every episode.
Like, they did so much world building for season 4 as well, and like the scope just really just expanded to cover basically the entire outside world now as well, just beyond the island.
Yeah, we're learning so much about the outside, the whole different politics of at what kind of step in technology they were. Because honestly, the first 3 seasons, I thought they was just like in some kind of medieval time with only like muskets and stuff.
Yeah, me too.
It turns out it's like industrial era, but they're just behind, so
Yeah.
they have to industrialize too. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's
So what time period are they actually in then?
I
They're
would
in
say
like
like Victorian eras,
1950 or something,
like
right
World War
around
One
like World War
kinda.
II level of kind of
Yeah,
technology.
World War One, or probably between World War One, World War Two
Yeah.
timeline.
Shit, I thought they were like in like medieval.
Yeah, that
Yeah, that's the
that's
crazy
how they made
part.
you feel. That's how they
Yeah.
made you feel. And
For
then
3 seasons, they
once you
convinced you.
realize that there is an outside world, they're way ahead of you, and it almost felt
And
like
you need to defend yourself because they want to kill
yeah,
you.
Yeah.
it almost felt
They're-
like you were like some like small nation back in that time, like actually real history, and then you realize that oh, there's these British guys and they have guns and they're coming to North America to fuck up your shit.
And you're like, what am I supposed to do? Right? So
Yeah.
like this is that idea of like drastic defense and like going to drastic measures and come up with crazy stuff.
Yeah, like the rumbling.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
rumbling, for
It
instance.
really just hits you on every level. Like it gives you those like deep things to think about. Like what do they actually have to do? It hits you with that moment to moment suspense. It follows up on it with like, holy shit, did that really just happen? Moments.
I think
I don't
one of
know.
the craziest thing that they've done this season is kind of like what you guys mentioned earlier with what the hell happened to Aaron, but like just more so like who are the good guys now, you know?
Yeah,
Who do we
I-
root for?
You start to seriously ask yourself, like you start to have to evaluate everything. You're like, okay, wait, let me think about my morals and in my real life morals and think about who's right here. And it's like I just can't pick. I can't figure out who's doing the most right and the least wrong because everyone's doing at least a bit of wrong.
yeah,
And I can't figure out if like I'm not gonna spoil the last 2 episodes for you because those are really crazy and I don't have to. But like at least in the conflict that was brought up with the last few episodes, we don't have that many questions anymore. They've pretty much answered all of our questions. So all the things from the beginning of season 1, there are very few things that I'm still wondering now. I mean, there's a couple small details that I might need to clarify, but that's more on me. That's not really the show. Like now it's just about like, so who's right? Who's the real protagonist and what's happening next? Who's telling the truth? Who's actually a trustworthy person? It's so much confusion and suspense now that it's to the point where it's like everything you feel like you've learned in the show you have to question, and you feel like everything could be a lie. So it's like now it's like what the fuck is gonna happen next? And I think that's such a good spot to leave us at for like the last episode of the first part of the season, because I think this is just the first part, right, of the final season.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Manga
So-
readers have said that there's like an entire extra like 12 or more episodes to go.
Yeah, so we have the one more episode this coming Sunday, I think, and then after that, I don't know when the next part is coming out, but that's probably going to be the very last 12 episodes. So,
Mhm.
that's such a good place to leave us right now, though, because it's like, even though there's probably going to be a bunch of cliffhangers, I'm really thinking about everything, and
Yeah.
they're really smart from a marketing perspective too, if you think about it, because like you're really thinking about their show a lot. You're thinking about all their characters, thinking about everything, and then soon enough you're going to be wanting to buy Levi plushies. You're going to be want all the merch that they have. I already have a poster on my wall right
Oh my
in front of
God.
me here.
Dude, my
Hey, anybody got
girlfriend
a
hasn't
poster
even seen the
collection?
show, and she wanted to buy a shirt with Aaron holding his hand cut right before their conversation at the table.
Oh, no.
Wait, what did you say, Chris?
I was saying we have like the poster thing. Like my girlfriend or whatever, she we have an anime poster collection. She's like, my
Okay.
birthday's coming up. Can you give me a Aaron poster? I'm like, oh my fucking god. I'm like, Lord. But I heard. Tell me if this is true. I heard that like a lot of people were confused on season 4 because they didn't. Is it like some Tokyo Ghoul Re thing where a lot of people are confused on season 4, like because like it kind of like drifts from everything. That's what I've heard from some anime.
Yeah,
content
so
creators.
probably the start, because at the
start's
start
confusing.
they didn't make it obvious where we were in the timeline. It didn't pick up exactly where we left off, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like at the start
Damn,
of the
y'all really
season.
want me to? Y'all making me really want to pick it up now.
I'm telling you, man, you're not gonna regret
Yeah.
it. You're gonna want to talk about it too.
The first episode was, I think they were showing off one of the wars, right? And you were like, why am I watching like World War One show? Like, what happened?
And
Yeah.
none of the characters were that we knew.
Yeah.
Like it was all new characters.
characters you've never
I
seen
was worried.
before,
I was
like,
worried
what
that the
is
season was
this?
just going to be like a side thing, you know, like it's just like, oh, we're just going to see the perspective of other people and stuff like that.
And then you see Titans, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the first probably like I'd say like maybe 4 or 5 episodes, you're not 100% sure what's going on. If you're smart, you can probably figure it out. But like I didn't figure it out until like episode 5 or 6, where I knew exactly what was happening. But definitely as the season progresses, most things are clear. The only thing I would say, Chris, and to anyone else who has either started the show or plans on watching the show, if you're gonna watch it, you have to watch it from start to finish, I think. I mean,
You probably
I
don't want
didn't,
to start where you picked up or where you left off. You probably want to
yeah.
start from the beginning.
Because
Is there
here,
things
let me tell you something
foreshadowed
about
at the
Attack on
beginning
Titan.
that towards the
Every
end shows
single
you?
thing that happens in the show is important.
Okay.
So even small things that you might notice, you're probably not going to notice most of them anyway. But
Mm.
if you watch the show and rewatch it after that, you're going to start to have a lot of like what the hell moments, kind of like
You're just gonna be confused. You're not gonna
yeah.
remember everything, and it's just not really gonna be as much of a
yeah.
satisfying watch as if you
And
just
even
started
though
it back
even
in
though I'm
season
very
one.
much enjoying it right now, I still have to kind of come back to Cooper, for example, and be like, hey, so is this the way that this works? And if this Titan does this, does that? Because I forget, because I just haven't watched some of those seasons for a few years.
Mm.
So I would recommend rewatching since it's only like what 2 seasons that you haven't.
Yeah, I
that-
stopped
yeah,
mid season 2.
yeah. So you have like I don't know, maybe like 30 episodes or something. I mean, that's kind of a lot, but
I could binge that at night. To be honest.
there you go, man. That's how it should be. So yeah, if you're gonna watch it, that's how you got to
Y'all
do
really
it.
have me hyped. I'm really thinking about it now.
Yeah, definitely. If you get bored, because I agree, part of season 2 definitely can be boring. When I first watched season 2, I stopped it after the first 2 episodes. But now after Cooper kind of hyped me up when season 3 part 2 came out, because that stuff was also really crazy.
Because I
He-
was like, there's so many episodes coming out. I stopped after season 2 halfway too, and I was like,
Yeah.
same.
maybe I'll just go back and rewatch the whole thing, and
I
maybe it's
literally
like
tell everybody it
actually
was
worth it.
boring. They tell me I'm a dumbass. I'm like, how?
Don't worry, dude. You can still redeem yourself. You can still go and watch it, and you can still be one of us. Okay.
Okay.
One of the Attack on Titan elitists, yeah.
Yeah, Attack on Titan elitist.
Ugh.
The only thing about Attack on Titan that was like kind of controversial this season, pretty much everyone has agreed about everything. The only thing was near the beginning there was a lot of people. I think they called themselves Mappa haters.
Oh, we just did an episode about that. That's funny.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yep.
Basically, they just hated the animation style, and it's
People were
true.
sending death threats. People
Yeah,
were
yeah, that's
death
crazy, right?
Yes. They did
I
that
mean-
to Kubo. Not
I,
Kubo.
I mean, in all fairness, obviously it's horrible to send death threats. We do not condone those actions. But like, it's true that the animation was not as good as some previous seasons. I think that's a fact. But
Yeah.
especially since people compared a lot to that season. I think it was season 3, part 1, with Levi, swinging down the city on his whatever the gear is
Maneuver
called.
gear.
Yeah.
Oh,
his
yeah,
maneuver
yeah.
gear.
Yeah,
Like that was a classic thing that was trending and
the
everything
whole
like that.
budget put into that scene, yeah.
Yeah. So I can understand that maybe we would have liked it a little bit more, but let's be real, right? I don't think that's taking anything away from the season right now.
No,
We did an Attack on Titan season probably like a month and a half or 2 months ago,
Yeah, an episode.
an episode.
we did a whole season, guys.
Yeah, we did a
12
whole
episodes of
season of
Real Talk Anime.
podcasts. No, we did an episode about Attack on Titan midway through the season, and we were talking about that. We were like, I get that you might be a little bit upset that it's not as good as other seasons, but no way does it condone any of the actions that are being taken, especially considering the fact that it's public information that, like, I think it was like people who were investing in the animation studio were pressuring them to put it out fast because they wanted to delay it further.
Mhm.
And there was all sorts of like stuff against the artists and stuff, even though they really couldn't do anything else. Especially considering I don't know anything about Mappa and the way they treat their workers, so I'm not gonna make any like accusations or anything. But in general, it's kind of like animators typically are overworked and underpaid.
That is true. I watched the Trash Tape podcast. On that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
He
yeah,
was
yeah,
talking
yeah.
about- was he JoJo's? I think.
Yeah, he did JoJo's, I think.
Okay, yeah, he was talking.
Yeah,
talking
I
about
actually
how-
haven't seen that whole episode, but I saw the thumbnail and I think I tuned in for a little bit.
Yeah, I watched
but-
both.
But yeah, I checked out that guy's socials and stuff, and it's like, yeah, these guys work really, really hard. They're underpaid. Japanese, like Japanese work culture, like in terms of like jobs and stuff, is really, really well, I don't want to be mean or anything, but it's kind of bad. Like,
It's
I mean,
like
it's kind
toxic.
of toxic.
Yeah, it's
I would
toxic.
say
I
that.
mean, you have
well-known facts.
at least for like office jobs and stuff like that. Like, there's people work way overtime. Everyone's overworked. Everyone knows about the way that this stuff like this happens in Japan, and it plays a big role in the fact that people are too busy, can't have kids, whatever, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I think that plays into it too. I mean, I'm not going to say that Mappa is part of the problem because I don't know, but you know what I'm saying?
They definitely aren't shiny clean.
There you go.
There
yeah.
you go.
So
But
I think that
if you want
with
to come on
that,
a podcast, we're all down here though. We're not, you're
Yeah,
just
they-
one to us.
Yo, sponsor us, Mappa. We will preach your show. They're doing Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen too, aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're doing
are.
a bunch of stuff right now.
Yeah.
they
So
will.
I mean, they definitely can do some really fire animation, but
Yeah.
at least for Attack on Titan, they were on a tight deadline and they were in a rush.
Yeah, and like, another thing, my bad. Another thing is, I saw, like, I think we talked about this, me and shit, on our podcast. Like,
Oh yeah.
I like with Kubo with Bleach. I remember the time he had to deactivate his IG because they were really, like, the way the story was. Like,
Oh
a lot
my
of these manga,
god.
a lot of these manga creators, like for people for the manga, they don't even get to like really finish it the way they want to. They just tell them you have a certain amount of time, you have to finish it like this.
Well, isn't that
Mhm.
isn't that exactly what happened to Bleach?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
didn't
yeah, that's what happened.
didn't he get told, hey, you have 3 chapters or something like that to finish your show or to finish
Yeah,
your manga?
yeah, that's why the anime ended so weird too. Because
Yeah.
it was yeah, like it's terrible, man. It's
Yeah.
terrible.
Oh, did you hear though that we're getting an adaptation of the rest, or at least the next arc?
Yeah, it was supposed to be this year, but
I think it's this year, right?
it got pushed back again to 2022.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
did it? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I saw.
I still think that's gonna be hype. I mean, Bleach is sick.
I'm very sick.
Yeah. But anyway, that I think that's a good place to move on to the next show probably. Let's see, what do we say? It's a Mushoku Tensei. So this show is also known as what, Jobless Reincarnation. I think there's more to it. I think it's longer than that.
Mhm.
It's a light novel, I think.
Yeah,
so
Yeah,
course
it's a
gonna
light
have
novel
a
title.
Paragraph
long
for a title.
Not all of us. Again, Chris has only seen the first episode of this one. I think
Like 5
Rashida's,
minutes.
yeah.
Okay.
Rashida's read the manga, right?
Yeah, I have not watched the show yet. I was surprised to actually see it was animated.
Yeah. I want to say a little something about this show, and I'll let the rest of you guys
Yeah,
say
for sure.
your piece. But basically, this show looked really typical isekai trash when I was looking at it on my anime list. I don't remember what we said in our episode a few months back where we talked about the upcoming winter season, what we plan on watching and stuff, but I think we did bring it up at some point. And I think we mentioned that it just kind of seems like the classic kind of
Mhm.
shitty isekai, low budget,
Garbage.
teleported
isekai
to another
low
world with my
tier.
smartphone type thing.
Isekai don't get my love. Isekai are very hard to get me to sit down and watch. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
same.
I mean, you got your classics, you got some that are really different and cool, and then the rest are just kind of garbage.
Copy paste with one tweak.
Straight shit.
Yeah. So Jobless Reincarnation, that's what I was expecting. I still gave it a try because I've had my fair share of isekai that I enjoyed, so I thought, okay, I'll give it a try because this season's supposed to be really good. And the first episode was really weird, but it was still really, really good. You had some great animation. You had some interesting characters right off the bat. It was a bit of a different dynamic compared to usual. I mean, normally it's not uncommon to see kind of like an adult or like someone like who's way older than they actually are after they get reincarnated as a child.
Yeah.
Get like be the main character. But this guy was a bit different. He was kind of like he was like a NEET or whatever you want to call it. Like he was jobless. He kind of hated his life. He was
a
bullied a
bum,
lot.
he called
He
himself.
had social anxiety and all sorts of stuff. And so it was a bit of a different character. I was like, okay, nice. It's at least a bit different. It's not your classic just 30-year-old office guy that gets stabbed on the street or anything
Well,
like that.
aren't they usually neats? Like ReZero, he was a neat, wasn't he?
I think he was just a high school student that just didn't go to school for a while.
Yeah, he was a high school student.
Yeah. So not yet graduated, but yeah, like kind of like the high school equivalent of a NEET.
Okay. He was like Hikikomori then, I think.
There you go. Yeah, that's probably the right word. But yeah, this show, basically, the reason that I want to talk about this show is because it's way better than anyone ever could have predicted it was going to be.
I think that's true. Yeah.
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 And like
I can agree with that.
I can talk lots about it. I want to get your guys' takes too. So, what do you guys think?
Well, for me, I think I haven't seen like an anime attempt this level of immersion, because once the story really got started, that was like episode 9 or something. They got transported somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
I haven't seen an anime like create its own language and then use that, like the voice actors use that language in the show, and then they like translate it back into Japanese and subtitles. Like I haven't seen an anime go that far to create that level of immersion. So I
And-
just find it really high production value.
The fact that language is even part of the equation is something that's interesting about the show, because usually, like in your garbage trash isekai, right? It's one of two things. The guy either has god powers from the start, or he has like a smartphone or something. But this time, it like literally the smallest things, like picking up a language and then later seeing it get used and be useful to the main characters, like stuff like that.
It makes the world feel dynamic and like
Yeah, and like more
actually
than just
kind
like
of
the
real.
one skill that the main character has matters.
Yeah, I definitely think that like and now I don't know how similar the manga is, Rashid, but like at least or like have you read the whole thing? Is it done? I don't even know.
It's not done. I've read all the way up to what's currently out at the
Okay,
moment.
cool.
Okay.
Cool. So at least you know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Basically, I think that like every little thing that they do, I think you know what, the world building is kind of what makes the show. The world building and the animation.
Mhm.
Because let's be real. I mean, I said it at the start. It's a bit different from your typical isekai, but the main character is still pretty kind of like this definitely could have been the main character of a trashy show too.
Yeah,
True.
yeah.
And
I don't
and
really like
obviously the
main
concept of
character, to be
isekai
honest.
is very not is very unoriginal. So that obviously sets the bar a bit higher too.
Yeah, because it's very hard to find a very good isekai or one trying to do their own thing. in their own-
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
so
think
yeah.
something really good about this is that even though the main character is trashy, there's a lot of moments where you watch him do what he's doing, and it's like, wow, that is like somebody put a trigger warning on that, because that's kind of fucked up.
That's pretty scummy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main
But,
character
like,
is scum.
It really focuses on his growth as a character and how he gets past that stuff, and
Yeah.
then you see like the subtle changes in his behavior and how he treats other people as a character, and focusing on that as well as other things that I talked about earlier. I think that's part of what makes the show feel more different and not quite as trashy as what you usually find from an isekai.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'm kind of known as like the what do we call it? Isekai garbage man
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
of our
isekai
group.
garbage
garbage man.
Like back when we were in high school, I used to watch pretty much every single isekai out there. Every single time there was a new isekai, I'll be the first to watch it. I even watched the one about the smartphone. So
I watched
Um,
that one. That was so fucked up.
yeah, I definitely didn't like it, but I still watched it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely I rate this show. It's actually pretty solid. There are some kind of fucked up moments. The main character is kind of a douchebag, but and kind of a perv too. But yeah, for sure. It's definitely a show that we didn't expect to be good, and that coming into the season was kind of like a pleasant surprise. It also comes out on Saturday or Sundays, which is the same day
Sundays,
as Attack
yeah.
on Titan. So Attack on Titan Sundays just become even better because there's another good show that comes out earlier in the day. Um,
That is-
but yeah. What was that?
I said that is good to know, and also I'm actually really glad to hear that they implemented like the beast language they use in the manga.
Yeah,
I wasn't expecting any of that. So when
yeah.
you
They did the Beast one. They also did the Demon one. Like it's
They have,
actually
like was it dragon language or something?
yeah. They have like a bunch of different languages that
Yeah.
they took into account.
that's crazy.
Can we go on a rant, like just real quick, like 2 seconds? Like
Sure.
Crunchyroll just doesn't have everything I be wanting to watch. Like horror me and not on Crunchyroll.
It's so
what's it called?
bad.
Egg,
Wonder
egg-
Egg
Priority.
Yeah, I
not
wanna
on
watch it now.
Crunchyroll.
Like Crunchyroll, like I got the premium account. It doesn't even have the good stuff. Like Crunchyroll is low key ass.
Yeah, you're
That's
actually just right.
If I'm looking at
Sponsor us.
the
Underrated,
number of
for the
things we have
underrated.
on
Um,
there.
Sponsor us if you're watching Crunchyroll, but if you're
But
not, yeah, it's kind of
no,
Sponsor
please,
ass.
please,
Crunchyroll.
please,
But
we
it's
can
the
fix the
same
problem.
thing that's happening to every kind of streaming platform out there, right? Because like
Yeah.
if you go to like non-anime television, right? You have Amazon Prime, you have Netflix, you have Disney Plus, right?
Like
And there's a whole
HBO
bunch of
too.
other ones. Yeah, HBO, right? Before it used to be just Netflix, right? Everything was on
Yeah.
Netflix.
And Blockbuster
Nowadays,
back in the day.
stuff
Yeah,
is
and it
getting
used to
taken
be
off all the
Blockbuster.
time and split into a bunch of different places. Like
You
the
gotta
same
pay
thing's
more
happening
money
in
to
the
get the
anime
same
landscape.
thing.
You
Yeah,
still like Crunchyroll, Funimation. Now stuff is going to Amazon too. You don't even know where it's
Stuff on
going.
Netflix now.
Yeah.
Netflix making anime.
Yep.
Yeah, you got then you got a whole roster of Netflix shows. Like Japan Sinks, that's not on Crunchyroll, is it? It's only on Netflix.
That's a
No,
Netflix
yeah.
original, isn't it?
Yeah,
is
it's
Pretty good show. Pretty good show. Not gonna lie. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I gotta watch that. I know
But
Trash Taste also did an episode on that a while back.
Yeah, we're doing like two episodes. We're trying to milk the fuck out of that one.
I mean, yeah, I heard it was pretty good, so
pretty good, pretty
I'll be listening. But yeah, dude, like one thing that kind of sucks is that there isn't, an app or something, a website maybe that kind of
Oh.
makes this easy to watch anime,
A legal
Crunchyroll
one.
is, yeah, like a global thing, a real like maybe there is.
You're trying to
If
find a
someone
legal way to watch
knows of
everything.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically what I'm trying to say is like imagine you had some sort of like a website or something where you just had an account, and then even if let's say you were going, I'm not saying that I would do this, but let's say that you were going to watch it illegally, right?
Right.
um at least having a website or something where it has all the links for everything. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, you have think like my anime list, except it actually has links to the shows and everything.
Yeah.
So like, oh, this is on Crunchyroll. Okay, I'll go watch it on Crunchyroll. Oh, this is on Funimation for some weird reason. Okay, I'll go watch it on Funimation.
Yes.
Oh, this is on some illegal website that I'm not going to name because I definitely don't watch shows illegally. Yeah, I'll go watch it there. Well, I won't, but like, you know what I mean. But yeah, like just some sort of like, I feel like right now it's so split. Everyone has their own website where they watch. Nobody knows what the real best place to watch everything is. And then there's also the struggle between legal versus not legal and wanting to support the people that actually made it, but not really having a way to. Like,
Yeah.
if you actually want to watch Wonder Egg and you don't want to pirate it, what do? You just can't, right?
Where do you watch it?
Yeah.
You literally just can't
Is it
unless
on
you fly to
Funimation?
Japan
I
and
don't
watch it
know.
live on Japanese TV. There
Yeah,
isn't
is
really
that
a
because
way.
me and Rashi, we went to Japan 2 summers ago, and the
Oh,
stuff
wow.
like so like the stuff like Wonder like that stuff is just playing on like
Yeah,
channels,
TV.
just channels like
yeah,
we-
I remember I got to Japan and I saw the first episode of the season 2 of Attack on Titan on TV as a live airport. I was like, holy shit, they got a monkey in the show now. And then I stopped watching, but like they're just like really airing it there. And you know what? If you're not using a VPN, Crunchyroll only has like 2 shows there.
yeah, I for
It's
real
even more
watch-
ass. Like you have like anime horror stories or something like that, and then like one other documentary, and that's all of Crunchyroll.
facts.
Yeah, I think the other thing I want to continue this rant for a little bit longer before we
Yeah.
go back to our topic. So like
Yeah.
the other thing is that I think there's too much just actual garbage on Crunchyroll. Like
I agree.
like
It's
like
so
I
much-
get
so
it.
much
I get it.
filler.
You want to have enough shows for everyone, and you also want to have enough shows that even if you watched everything that was actually good, you still have some garbage there if you're really bored. And also shows for all ages and all demographics and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But let's be real, right? How many people are actually going to watch? Cooper, what was the name of that show that won like an award in the anime thing, and it was like a mobile game or something?
Oh my
Princess
god.
Princess
Reconnect
Dive?
Princess
Oh
Dive or
my
something?
God,
Princess,
I
yeah.
watched
Bro,
Dude,
who
who's going to watch
watched it,
that?
though?
What is that?
I don't even know, dude.
It was so bad.
It won a Crunchyroll Anime Award for what I don't even remember what it was,
art
but it
design
won
or something?
one
I
of the
don't
Crunchyroll
remember.
Anime Awards.
I think it was just nominated, but
Or was it
like,
nominated?
nominated for like best animation or something like
the
that.
Crunchyroll awards are like anime awards are so biased. Like they're not good. They're not accurate representation.
Yeah,
Like,
We
it's
felt
not
that way too.
community voted. I
Yeah.
there's
don't
no
feel.
reason Jiu-Jitsu Kaisen wins every award. A show that only if we're going
There you
off
go.
of fall season, the show only had 12. How is it the best fall season?
We
anime
said the
with 12
exact same
episodes?
thing.
That makes no
it had
sense.
hardly gotten started, and
We
everyone
did an
was like,
episode
"Oh,
about the
best
Crunchyroll
episode."
Anime Awards.
Yeah, I
where we were
watched
on,
that one actually. I watched
and
that
we were
one.
talking about. We were like, how is it possible that these shows that are only available on Crunchyroll, by the way,
Are the best anime.
are the best
The
shows of
best
the
shows
entire
was-
year, even though they
yeah.
only have 12 episodes and weren't even that great.
Like Great Pretender should have won something.
That's
don't
what I
know
was
if it
saying,
did.
dude.
Like Great
That show is
Pretender
sick.
That show gets nothing. That makes no sense.
Yeah, no. But yeah, sponsor us, Crunchyroll.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
please. But yeah, I guess that's the end of
NordVPN
that,
will
right?
take your sponsor too.
Yeah,
You go to
NordVPN.
Japan,
Anyone
fly to
hit us up,
Japan,
dude?
you're
Funny-
gonna need a
Call me
VPN
back,
if you're trying to
boys,
watch
you know,
anime.
yeah.
Yeah,
You guys suck too. Funimation. We'll take yours.
yeah. Okay, cool. What we've been recording for 45 minutes. Let's move on to the next
Yeah,
show.
we should
Yeah.
probably move on.
Next on the list we got Hori Mia.
Ooh,
Man,
And man, yeah, you said it.
Man, that great romance anime, man. Great.
Uh,
Romance animes are like isekai for me in the fact that they do sometimes get a little bit repetitive, but this one is just so wholesome, bro. Like it's something we could all relate to. Like the girl likes the nerdy guy,
Yeah.
but like he's slick, not really nerdy. He just doesn't want to like because he has like tattoos and piercing and stuff. Like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
And over there, you can't be as expressive as you
Uh-huh.
are in America. So
Exactly.
you have to keep it covered. But she secretly like likes him, but he doesn't know if he likes. It's a good romance, bro.
Yeah.
Good.
And it's super funny too.
Super funny. And the
I mean,
intro slaps.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. We're singing that shit in our Discord channels all the time.
Go ahead and save it on Spotify.
Our FBI agents, no, they can confirm that.
Facts.
Yeah, no, like, I love the fact that there's a lot of character development. You get to see it because it's also kind of like slice of life too.
Yeah.
So like you get to see a little bit about their lives, the struggles of different students. Not everyone is the same as what it looks like on the front. Kind of like the theme of like don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah.
And yeah, you kind of see love blossoming. It's really cute. It's really wholesome. And it just makes you sad that you don't have that. No. No. It's no, it's definitely a crazy good show. I love the fact one thing is just like the whole thing where she really likes it when he's like mean to her.
That's
Such
so
a girl
funny to
thing,
me,
bro.
man.
Yeah,
That's
like
such a girl
it's so weird. It's so weird, but it's also so funny.
Yeah.
And I feel like none of us could ever understand anything like that, or maybe you guys do. I don't know.
No, I don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
It's
that's what I
confusing.
thought.
You got this really timid guy who's just trying his best to like, make his
Make his
girlfriend,
girlfriend
happy.
happy.
But to do
Yeah.
that, he has to like be mean to her, and oh man, oh, it's so funny.
Yeah, it's good. It's just like this and Rent a Girlfriend could be like battling for best romance anime, like the new little like some of the best.
100%.
Mhm.
100%.
I think Rent a Girlfriend is really good. I read, but like those
I
two are
agree.
really good. So it's just something that's like I think a slice of life and romance are still like my third or second favorite genre, man. Like I really like
Yeah,
like
for
that
sure. I
stuff.
really like when they're mixed together, when
Yeah,
you
exactly.
because okay, romance and it's just like the whole time it's just two people, pretty much there's like very few other characters that matter. Stuff like that is kind of boring. When you
Yeah.
start to get into the like you said, it's kind of like the isekai boring type thing. But then once you get into that stuff where it's like they have their actual lives, they have things going on, there's a lot of characters that are involved. Maybe it's okay to have a typical love triangle. It's maybe a bit cliche, but it spices things up. And then now you have a dynamic set of characters, a dynamic world. It's kind of slice of life, but it's also focusing on that romance between the two characters, and that's I think where you can really find the perfect blend of all the things that make that show so good.
Facts. I agree.
Yeah. Any is everyone watching that? Are you watching it, Rashid?
I am not. I don't watch many romance.
I'm the romance anime person of the show.
Yeah.
Fair enough. No, I kind of get it though. Like I feel like you kind of have to be in a type of mood to watch a romance anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's the manga guy, I'm the romance guy.
Makes sense. Yeah. How about Cooper? Are you watching it or not yet?
No, it's like one of the ones that I haven't seen.
Okay. Fair enough. All right. We can move on to the next one, which is also one that not all of us have seen. Wonder Egg Priority.
True.
Only
I've
one
heard
here
so
who's
many
caught
great
up.
things about that show though. Like I've
Yeah.
heard so many great things.
I'm like halfway through. I think we're on like episode 11 or
Dude.
something right now, or maybe even 12. I think
I
I've
still
watched.
just
11.
did.
There's one left, I think.
Yeah, I'm
I
up to 6 right now.
called that shit, man. I remember you can. It's written. The receipts are there. If you go back way back into our episode where we talked about the anime coming out in this season, I was like, "Hey guys, that Wonder Egg show, maybe that's gonna be pretty good." Literally no description, just like an image of the main character, and I was like, "That is gonna be a show."
Yeah,
Guess
it was
what?
just a subtle like cover art at the bottom of my anime list when we were going through it for one of our episodes. And I remember Cooper saying, this show looks pretty good. And we did talk about it for a little bit on the show. He said, we have no idea what it's about. The name is kind of weird, but it looks like it slaps. And then it actually does.
It actually
I
does
haven't seen
slap.
it.
What's the genre again? Psychological horror? It's a horror?
Okay,
it count as
it's
horror?
weird.
horror.
Basically, it's like it's not even technically horror. So it's a coming of age story, right? Or so we think. It's like the best I can describe it so far is like Now, I haven't watched Madoka, but I know people talk about Madoka and how like things get twisted, like really twisted.
Oh
Madoka
wow, okay.
Magica. I feel like that's sort of what is going to happen with um Wonder Egg. Like, so the first episode, you feel like you're in a fever dream. You're like, what is happening the entire time? Like the first few seconds, like main character wakes up, she gets like an axe thrown at her, cuts her arm. Like, what is happening? And then it turns into like a really wholesome show about, well, not even wholesome really, but the girl is trying to like overcome these challenges, and you see them
Mhm.
going through character development, trying to work out their emotions in their life as they develop as characters.
Mhm.
But then, oh man, I can't spoil this. Jeez, it's so hard not to spoil. Basically,
Has anyone here seen
gets real different.
Bokurano?
Nah.
No, I don't think so. I've heard of it though.
Okay, it's like a classic mecha anime from like the early 2000s.
Okay.
Really good show. It's kind of uh like a battle of the week kind of anime where like every week there's like a new thing and the
Mhm.
kids have to team together, climb in the robot and then fight them to save the world kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like it kind of turns into like a twisted psychological anime when you find out the real truth behind things.
Oh, okay.
I feel like it probably has really similar vibes to Wonder Egg Priority.
Exactly.
It sounds
So
like it.
Yeah,
I
if
mean,
you
I'll
guys
say one
watch
thing.
Wonder Egg and you think it's good, definitely check out Bokurano. That's a good watch.
Okay, but
Yeah, for sure. I'll say one thing. I mean, I haven't watched too much of it, but I've seen about half the current episodes, and yeah, I think that the main character. Well, first of all, I just really like the main character. I think that the art style is really attractive, and I don't know what the right word to describe is. Maybe like warm or like welcoming. Um, and I think that I just really like seeing kids become friends and do stuff together. It's kind of like the same thing as Haikyuu. It's like you're seeing high school kids become friends, form bonds that might never even break, you know, like stuff like that. And it's so wholesome. It's almost like it's like uh, a platonic romance. That doesn't make any sense,
that
but
makes zero sense.
it's like love of your friends. It's like you see these people get really close and really start to care about each other, and also
could you say
improve
like a
people.
Anohana type of thing?
Yeah, I'd say it's kind of like that, where it's like
Okay.
Anohana is almost like a redemption in a way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a bit different, and also Anohana is just crazy sad, but yeah, it's kind of like you see these people kind of form bonds and become warm and more open people and grow. That's what I've seen so far. Now, Carter's saying that it becomes fucked up and you'll need therapy.
Yeah, it
So
was like at 2:30 a.m. last night. I was watching the most recent episode, and man, I was like broken after watching it.
Damn.
yeah,
I was
so I
like,
guess it's not
oh, I
all
cannot believe this.
girls getting along kind of thing, but at least that's the part that I enjoyed so far.
Where do you guys watch it? If you, or that's something off air we have to talk about.
Well, oh, okay, sure,
Or-
yeah,
Yeah, maybe,
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
yeah,
But
sure, yeah.
I think it was made by the same studio as Angel Beats, maybe.
Oh, really?
I think so.
I know that.
Might be wrong here. But
Oh,
you know,
okay.
based off the assumption that it is, you know how like Angel Beats, like the last 3 episodes is when like everything comes in.
Yeah,
If
so
you
it's
have
kind of
watched
like
Angel
that.
Beats, it's kind of like that. Where like you're
Okay.
like, whoa, what? And you know, you don't expect like the emotional feels you're about to be hit with. So
Yeah, I'll say one critique for the show that I had, just because so far we've pretty much only said good things about all these shows.
Mhm.
I felt like it was a bit repetitive because Cooper mentioned that Bokurano was like a fight of the week type thing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's the same deal for this show, and that doesn't mean it's bad, but it kind of gets a bit repetitive because what happens is that every single week you see a character, and maybe not the same one, fighting some kind of boss or something in a way that makes sense for the plot, and then it's just, but it's not like a shonen type thing where like it builds up to that moment. It's just sort of uh like I don't know if you guys have ever played any like MMORPGs where you have like dailies, like daily quests you have to do every single day.
Yeah.
Yeah, so kind of like that. It kind of feels like that. It's like, okay, let me go do my dailies, hang out with my friends, rinse, repeat. And that's kind of how it felt like for the first like 6 episodes. But then there's like a side plot line where the characters are actually interacting with each other and meeting each other and stuff like that. So it's not all just that, but when you kind of start getting to that repetitive dailies thing, I feel like it becomes kind of like, okay, every week it's a cycle and we're just going to keep watching it. That's why I kind of stopped, because the other shows that are airing this season, I felt were just more crazy and action packed. But I have to.
Mhm.
But I'm not saying don't watch Wonder Egg. It's a great show. Definitely go watch it, and I'm gonna be watching it once it's all out. Catching up on that.
Yeah, I think Wonder Egg's
Same.
great because the way they tackle the characters is like each one has like one really big flaw about themselves,
Yeah.
and you learn how they try to address those. But I don't know if they really solve all of them. That's the thing.
Yeah, I guess that's what we're gonna find out, right?
Yeah, with one episode
Stay tuned,
left.
guys. Yeah, stay tuned for the last episode. Cool. Next one, Dr. Stone. Big show.
Love that show, man. Love
Yeah,
that show.
yeah. So I think that the first season left me really excited for another season. You know that feeling when you watch, like, for example, let's say Haikyuu, and you watch them finally beat a team or something, and you're like, wow, this is so motivational. Like you kind of feel like you can do shit after that. You can go
Yeah.
work or something.
Yeah.
That's how I feel after watching Dr. Stone.
Better go learn something.
It's like, yeah, I can go learn something new right now. I'm gonna go put out some more episodes for the podcast. I'm gonna go do some homework. I don't know,
exactly.
but it really puts you in a learning, motivated mood. The
Yeah.
main character Senku's just so sick,
Exactly.
but
I
I
felt
don't
like
even know.
I felt like the end of season 2 with the Stone Wars. I felt like honestly, I wanted them to stretch it out a little long, like not
Yeah, I
stretch
agree.
it out
I agree.
unnecessary, but make it more of a war because it's so many directions you could have gone with Dr. Stone. Like you can have like the history of how they got stoned,
Mhm.
what are they gonna do now if they got into the battle. Let's say Senku obviously gonna win, like the team of science or Emperor's whatever it's called
Yeah.
science side. They were always gonna win, but
Of
what are you
course.
gonna do now? What are you gonna do with the people that you've taken in, like the enemy? What are you
Yeah,
gonna
like,
do
you know
with
what'd been
like
cool? It would
yeah
be cool to see somehow they win the war without hurting anyone or whatever, because that was a condition, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But then after that, it's like, well, now you have all these people that somehow you beat them, but they don't want to work with you.
Yeah, like
exactly?
they
So
don't
what do you
follow
do?
your
So
philosophy.
so
You
now
got
it's
a bunch
almost
of
like a
angry
political thing, you know?
partisans.
Kind of like how some
Yeah,
shows go from like a really action-packed thing to a political thing.
yeah.
Something like that.
But
It's
yeah,
like, oh,
I
okay, well,
didn't need more action. I just felt like doing that all in 1 or 2 episodes. You could have got so like I felt
yeah.
too rushed. Like
You're
you-
right. I mean, the preparation for the war was like 8 episodes, and the actual war was like 2 episodes.
exactly enough. And now I'm kind of confused if Doctor Stone's gonna get another season because I can see a world where they get 2 more seasons. I can see a world where this be the last season. I can see both because
I could see it. Yeah, you're right.
I could see where the next, let's say another, they get like what, let's say this season's 20 episodes, like or first season was 27, I think. Let's see this one's like 20. I forgot
Okay,
the number
sure.
this one's at.
All
Then
right.
maybe they'll talk about how these guys became friends and how they built the world up. Boom. Or we could get the rest of the season. They talk about what they're gonna do. And maybe next season we get how did everybody get turned
Yeah.
into stone, and then you finish it all up. So
There
Yeah.
is going
but
to
I
be
was
another
hyped.
season, I think.
Okay. Have
Like
you read the manga?
yeah, I've read the manga. There's like, sorry, there's like at least a whole another season, but that's it. Like right now in the manga, we only have enough for 1 season, I think. So I don't
Oh,
know
wow,
what
okay.
happens after that.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
I know that the show definitely could end here, but if it did that, it would have to be like going off the source material. So
So which one
and
do
that
you
would kind
prefer,
of suck.
the manga or the anime? Like, what do you enjoy more?
I would say the manga, to be honest.
Okay.
Like the next season, I'll still watch it animated, but like the manga's pacing is really good, I think. So I've been enjoying it.
Okay, yeah, and I guess that like Chris said, that's pretty much the only issue with this season. So
Yeah, the pacing felt too fast. Well, at least just the war part, it felt too fast for how
yeah,
much the buildup was supposed to be.
yeah. I still think that overall though, the show is super fun to watch.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The whole time I'm like intrigued at what he's gonna build and like stuff like that. I almost feel like a little kid every single time I watch that show. It's like I don't even know. It's like I'm watching it literally feels like I'm like a little kid in science class watching my teacher do some like crazy color stuff with science.
And we all
Good,
know
like-
science in high school was ass, so it was.
True. Yeah, no, it's like when you're a kid and like a teacher mixes food coloring inside of water or something, and you're like, oh my god, it's red water.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So I love that show so much. And as a person with like I think me, Cooper and Carter all have kind of like a sciencey background.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So as people with that kind of background, I think that it makes it even more interesting because like, oh, sometimes I kind of know he's talking about. Only sometimes though. Yeah, because we are not chemists, and that's what he does mostly. So
True.
Yeah.
I wonder if the stuff he does actually could, like, if we were to be put in stone, like the Stone Age, like
would it
Stone Age,
actually work?
would it actually work?
I mean, they put
I
that
don't know.
disclaimer every single episode
Yeah,
saying
that
like,
is true.
don't
They
do
this
this
do
at
stuff is
put
home.
that
real.
disclaimer.
Don't try it at home.
Yeah, that is very
So
true.
I'd assume that if you did it right, it could work. But they probably don't mention everything. Like, there's probably a lot of stuff that, like, if you were really to make like some like paper airplane bombs, like it'd probably be more complicated than just mixing a few
Stick it in
liquids.
some water
Yeah,
and
and then stick it in some paper and fly the paper away or something like that.
Like I feel like we kind of got the sense of how it would be like realistically to try to build this stuff in the
Yeah, that's
first
true.
couple episodes when it literally took him like a year or something to build his first sciencey potion.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
They
But
did, like,
everything
little
after that,
montage.
it's sort of like the scale of their technology's been rapidly increasing, kind of to the point where I wonder like how much more can they actually build the show if he's already at like a tank basically.
I mean, they do have to build like the world back up, like developing other people to make buildings and to make
Yeah.
get civilization back to
Yeah,
wherever they were, which was 2018 or 2019, 2019.
yeah,
whatever.
something like that.
I just feel like if they want to keep going up until like modern era
It could.
levels of technology, then it would sort of have to turn into a different kind of show to stay
Yeah.
interesting. For that
I agree
long.
because I feel like at this point, right, you can keep building things every episode for sure, and you can find some piece
Yeah.
of technology to create. But the thing is, we're gonna have to start moving into actually expanding the amount of people that are like alive. Actually, politics eventually will become a real thing, if not already, right?
I would be
Politics
so
already
interested in
existed
that, bro.
between like
Yeah,
the war,
politics is already like
basically,
kind of a
right?
thing, so it's like that's gonna become even more, important. And
People will start challenging Senku, being like, questioning his motives. Why are you doing
yeah,
this?
exactly. I mean, literally the entire conflict between Senku and what's the guy's name again?
Tsukasa.
Don't know.
Yeah,
T-
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa.
Yeah, the whole thing is based off like a
Morality.
difference in like ideology or morality or whatever.
Yeah.
So like you're gonna see more of this. You're gonna see people. And then you start to think about like actual criminals and like psychopaths and stuff. And
So
like
what do
these
you do
guys you're gonna revive these guys too, or you're just gonna, like sometimes you actually have to question like, is Senku actually doing the right thing? These things will
Yeah,
start to become more prevalent.
Yeah, because you're gonna let some mass killer and he's telling him to give everybody a chance. Well, he kind of shot his chance when he was actually
Yeah.
alive.
When he was not in stone.
Yeah.
So
that
yeah,
could get very interesting though. That could get very interesting.
yeah. The show might have, if the show keeps going for longer than maybe like another season or something, it will definitely have to change. But that doesn't mean it's a bad change. It could be a lot like kind of like an
I
Attack
said
on Titan change.
Yeah.
Can y'all see this comparison? I said like a Code Geass of the new gen. Can y'all see that Code Geass with the ideology swing and stuff? Like that?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, obviously
Yeah.
the difference is that like the main character is like not like some rogue like some rogue royalty guy, but yeah, kind of like trying to dominate the world in a way.
Yeah. I kind of gave that comparison.
Yeah. And as a politics, like I said, as a politics comment, I think it's gonna be it's gonna be even more valid of comparison for sure. So yeah, I think definitely guys, go check out Dr. Stone. All these shows that we mentioned, by the way, we have a couple more. All these shows that we mentioned are good so far, at least. And I think that you should try watching all of them. But Dr. Stone is definitely one of the ones that you should put near the top of the list somewhere.
I think Dr. Stone's one of them shows that you just feel good after watching. Like
100%.
Like I remember in the summer I was watching. I was like, bro, you know what? I'm not gonna sleep in the day. I'm gonna go for early morning 6 a.m. run.
Wow.
I did it.
Yeah, it's the same thing with like you watch hiking and you're like, I'm gonna start working out.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna start playing volleyball. Yeah, definitely a great show. 2 more shows to go. Probably not much to say about this one. Quintessential Quintuplets. Who here is watching this?
I have.
Not me.
I've watched it.
No,
Not
okay.
Only season 1.
Wait, Carter, have you seen it?
Not a single second of any episode.
Not even first season?
Nope.
Okay.
Can we just scrap this show for a different show everybody's seen? Then I've only seen like 3 episodes. I don't even count.
Okay, sure. What do you guys want to do before the last debate?
Promise Neverland, or that's the last one?
Oh, we could do that. I mean, we're already at an hour anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, we could leave this the big debate for Promised Neverland. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, sure. So last show of the season that most of us are watching, I think, at least.
Yep.
Promised Neverland. So just to the context before we start talking about this, basically, the first season was really great. Everyone was excited for a second season. We finally got the second season. Now, at about like the 5th episode or something, spoiler alert, if you haven't noticed an hour into the episode, they just kind of time skip and Norman is back.
Yeah.
Ooh,
And now everyone's like, wait, what the fuck? We just skipped like
100
300 chapters of the manga or something. And
Yep.
Norman all of a sudden is back after like 6 episodes, even if
Yeah.
it's been over a year in the actual show. It's just like, what the hell
And
just
it's just
happened?
that time skip kind of didn't really do shit.
Yeah. Now
Like-
I don't think anyone here is gonna argue that time skip was dog shit.
Yeah, it was
There
done.
was-
Like,
No, it was,
Yeah.
it was, yeah.
Or
it
yeah,
was
sorry.
like,
Yeah, I meant that. It is dog shit.
Yeah.
no,
And-
it's
and no
like,
one's gonna
I've seen
disagree.
people argue with, trying to say it's like it's character. I said, what do they do? They literally did the same. Like
Yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, so here's what I think. The time skips are normally not good, but sometimes they're okay. And the reason that this one isn't is because nothing actually happens from it. Like
No, I disagree. I think time skips are good for big shonen heavy
Yeah?
that like
One Piece.
we need
Like
strong.
the
okay,
Naruto
yeah,
time
fair
skip
enough.
was okay.
But like when it comes to shows like this, why?
I mean, we have like what 20 episodes right now or something?
Yeah, something
22?
like that. Yeah, like in the whole series, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Why do we need a time skip?
Time skip? Okay, sure. Yeah. I'll retract my old statement. Time skips can be good,
Right.
depending on the context. And the
Yeah.
reason this one isn't is because nothing comes out of it. Normally you time skip when nothing really like you normally time skip when there isn't actually really much happening in that time, or it's not really stuff that highlights the show, right? Now the
Right.
thing is, in the manga, a lot of stuff happens in that time, and it really does highlight the show. I haven't read the manga. Carter, have you?
I read the entire manga, and
How about
I
you,
hate the
Rashid?
new season.
My mom read the whole thing. She was pissed when she saw me watch season 2.
Yeah.
She was
Wait,
pissed.
Rashid, have you read this one?
I have not actually.
Okay. I thought manga master Rashid might have seen it. No, but at least what Carter said and one of our friends Hamza, what he said
Mhm.
is basically what was it the Goldie
The
Goldie
Goldie
Pond
Pond arc
Goldie
is
Pond
gone,
arc?
which is
Yeah.
the best arc in the manga, and they removed one of my favorite characters as well, who
Okay, yeah,
actually
so-
kind of matters a little.
Literally such an important arc with important characters from other arcs and this arc too. Really good stuff that like makes a show really good, and you learn a lot of context. And I mean, I can't even do justice 'cause I haven't read it, so I'll let you talk about it. But
Well, basically,
it's just the fact that it's just I'll let you
And
say
it's
it,
just
but
the
it's just
fact
the fact that
we
they
just
cut
want
out so
anime
much
original. Yeah.
with a time skip when time skips are supposed to be filling like blank, like taking out the void, like.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So what do you think, Carter? At least Like,
I
what
don't
do you think?
understand why they would use a time skip to skip not only like some of the most important stuff in the manga, but also the fact that they did the time skip, removed all the tension about Norman being gone. Because in the
Yeah.
manga, he's gone for like what feels like ages,
So
like
long,
literally
yeah.
like 100 chapters at least. And when he comes back, he doesn't come back this way either. He comes back some other completely crazy
Oh
way.
wow, I had no idea.
Like William Minerva,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
In the manga, he becomes William Minerva, right?
Oh shit.
So, like,
okay.
Oh,
the fact that they didn't
Oh.
do this in the anime makes me furious.
Wait, what the hell?
And
So in the anime, they just say "fuck that." That guy's dead.
yeah, because
yeah,
it went anime
like
original
Norman
for no reason.
has
Yeah.
a massive role in the manga. He's super important, and
What the
he's
hell?
been building up like this. Okay. Well, I don't want to spoil it if you guys want to read the manga. I don't want to spoil it too
Sure.
much more.
Basically,
but
just the
he
point
does
that
a
he's important, and then it makes no
huge
sense.
part in the manga.
Yeah.
And now he just like exists in the anime. Like he just comes
Exists
back
and then
like, "Hey, I'm
stops being
back."
important.
Like,
I heard that
injustice to his
the-
character, honestly.
Original author of the manga wasn't entirely satisfied with the way that she ended it and was working with the writers for this season to try to make something different
Oh
to
wow.
sort of like
okay.
Well,
diverge.
she needs to be fucking fired.
From her own manga, from her own show, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because
Like-
my thing, I'm 6 episodes behind to the thing because it's honestly pretty boring.
You just didn't
It
even
feels-
bother, yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's just all over the place every week, and I just was like, I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
Like, there's no more hope. This series doesn't bring. I hope they just end it after season 2.
Just wait for the Brotherhood, you know.
Yeah.
So
I
so
feel like
I think go ahead, Cooper. Actually, yeah.
if it was, because this is something I wanted to talk about. If it was anime original, right, but it was actually good, would we still have the same right to be upset?
no,
no, we
no,
wouldn't.
not at all.
it's good.
Because I feel like, I think like you got to give some credit, some respect to the team to have like the gall or like the bravery to try to do something different and respect the wishes of the author who said that she didn't like the way her manga ended, right? Like that, it's like an interesting concept for an anime because, right, like the original source material, the manga is always going to be there for you to go back and read it if you wanted to experience like the true original content.
Yeah.
So, like, as a concept to try to do something anime original, knowing that the manga is there,
Listen,
that's like, I don't know.
I don't think there's anything wrong with anime original endings or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
I think-
usually I prefer the sticks to the source material just because it means that I don't have to go read it because I don't like reading. Sorry, guys, but like that in itself is not the bad thing. The bad thing is just the way that they did it.
Yeah, it's
Because-
bad. It's bad.
Yeah, because the time skip really ruins everything. Now, the place where I think that it's not actually that bad is after the time skip. Like they did the start of the season and like right now the end or whatever, the second half of the season after the time skip, actually pretty good. But the fact that there's a set like this actual division, like a crack right in the middle, just ruins it. But
It
I think
basically
that
just turns your show into an ass. It's literally having the left
Yeah.
cheek, the
just
crack, and then the
make
right
up
cheek.
for it, yeah.
basically, yeah, dude, it's shit, literally. I
Your
think
dog.
that I think that the second part actually is pretty good. And I was talking to one of my friends who's read the manga, and I was
Mhm.
telling him about what's been happening in these last episodes, and he said, "Yeah, that's pretty much what happens in the manga 300 chapters after." So it's like it's not that like it's almost like like let's say the author, what you're saying is true about the author, because I don't know if this is official, but like if that's true,
I think I saw it in the Mother's Basement video or something.
okay, well, assuming that that's real, like that's fair. That's completely fair. But it's like, how are you gonna do yourself like that? How are you gonna ruin your own thing?
No.
And maybe to her, it didn't
Yeah.
feel like she was ruining her manga or whatever. But like, it just doesn't make any sense. Why would you downgrade so much?
I
Is
feel like
that-
they should have at
especially
least
when-
made it more explicit to the viewer that it was going to be something different from the start.
Maybe
right?
if we
Like
were
in the
expecting
marketing
it.
or something.
Yeah.
Like,
My thing is like from what everybody that I talk to says the manga is really good, and if your manga selling, your anime is most likely gonna be really good. So
Yeah.
why do it's just an unnecessary change.
I don't
Yeah,
understand
well,
the
And then you
decision.
get diehard manga fans who watch anime too. You lose their viewership.
Yeah, I
but
think it's
yeah,
a
that's
bad
true.
marketing,
so many people
decision, but it
have
stays true
watched
to
this
her
series
thing.
and been like, damn, it falls off season 2. Let me go read the manga instead. Like, these are non-manga readers. So like, did
That's
they really
true.
lose?
That's true. That's
Like,
true.
if they're really going to try to make those dollars, did they really lose?
I was about to say because that's the whole time I was debating if I should go read the manga or just do both the whole time when I learned that whole season 2 was going to be completely different. But I didn't think it was going to be that different.
Yeah. I thought it would be just, maybe a few small things, maybe a different ending.
Yeah, Promised Neverland was
Just
the
the
anime
ending.
I was most hyped for. I think
Yeah.
them and Dr. Stone, that show and Dr. Stone was like tied for the hype I was ready for.
Yeah, definitely it was one of the top ones for the season. We talked about it a lot in our episode like a few months back. I just can't get over the fact. I think that actually it's not even that bad. It's still worth watching, probably, depending on if you've read the manga, probably not. If you haven't, I think it's still worth watching. But the thing is, just the fact that I think it was like episode 10 of season 1 where Norman got taken away, and it's like episode 5 of season 2 where he got put back, and there was only like 11 or 12 episodes in the first season, so it's literally like 7 or 6 episodes or something. Excuse my math, but like basically like half a season of episodes, sorry, before we even before Norman comes back. And just the fact that like they made such a big deal about him disappearing, and all the buildup in the first season, it's almost like because the first season was so good because of all the buildup and all the suspense and the fact that everything was so punishable. The fact that Norman was taken away is huge because they made it so obvious how bad that really is, right? But then the fact and the fact that was, the fact that they did such a good job in season 1 made season 2 bad because they decided to change it and do the time skip and bring him back right away.
Yeah, you
So-
didn't really feel like you missed Norman that much in the 6 episodes he was gone. Like,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have even helped him that much. Like, they just got raided by the FBI, and that was it. They did the time
and dude,
skip, and then he's back.
we watched, or at least me and Cooper and Carter, I think Carter watched season 1 when it was actually coming out, like as a seasonal. So if you think about, we had like a couple years between it. Imagine if you were binging this. Imagine if you binge season 1 and then you watch season 2 the next day or the same night or something. Dude, it's been like 2 hours since Norman left and he's already back.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
imagine you're gonna be sad for like 2 hours and he's just back. It's like, what the hell, dude?
Why take
I
him
never
away in the
thought
first
Norman
place,
was dead
though?
though. I don't know why.
I definitely didn't think he was dead, but I was just like, he better not be back for a really long time because it's just, the way that they built it.
Yeah, it would be stupid.
Yeah. It's
It
kind of
was
like
basically like hide and seek,
it's
right?
kind of like if they
you run
brought
and hide.
Jiraiya back. It's kind of like if they brought Jiraiya back after he died.
Good that they-
Yeah.
good that they-
Because
like
obviously
4 episodes later,
everyone was hoping Jiraiya would come back, especially after in their whole resurrection stuff, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the show. And obviously he didn't come back, but it would have been pretty stupid if he just came back like 20 episodes later. He's like, just kidding.
Yeah,
Like that would have been stupid.
Yeah, and then the
I love
classic
Jiraiya.
Naruto music plays, and it's
when they
like,
went back in time. That
Yeah.
Naruto, when they went back in time and you see Jiraiya, that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice. That's cool. If they did something like that in Promised Neverland, that'd be fine. Whatever. It's just maybe like a filler back in time episode, something like that.
Yeah.
But if you want to show Norman, yeah. But don't bring him back 6 episodes later. Come on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Doesn't add up.
It really doesn't. So that's the thing with the Promised Neverland this season. I still think that all in all, with the first season mixed into the picture, Promised Neverland is still an above average show for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because that first season was fire, and I think most of the second season is still good, but the quality of the second season just takes a huge drop because of this time skip and the anime original failure, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
I hate
true.
to be harsh, but
yeah,
No,
I've been
man,
trying to
we're
speak devil's
podcasting,
advocate, but
podcasting,
you're
we gotta
right.
be
That's
analytical.
facts.
yeah, you got to be honest. We can't accept this mediocre content. Okay,
Facts.
only the best of the best.
It's so mid.
Yeah, there you go. It fell off. It's washed.
Facts.
Yeah. Well, that's the list of shows that we plan, and we're at about almost an hour and 20 minutes here. So I think this is a good time for our outro. Before we do that, I'm gonna let you guys plug your stuff again.
Okay, bet. All right, you guys can go, follow the, subscribe to the YouTube at Anime Gensho. That's where all of our podcasts are. I'm thinking about I'm gonna do a analyzing video. I'm thinking about dropping that on Friday. I already recorded that, so y'all guys should look that up. Check out for that. Y'all can follow our Instagram at Anime_Gensho. Y'all can go follow Sheed at his photography page at eyes.of.lens, where he does photography and stuff like that. And like I said, we're gonna be making the Spotify where we post like just audio only, of course. So that should be up by sometime next week. I'm trying to get that rolling.
Yeah.
So yeah,
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much to Chris and Rashid from the Weebaholics, aka Anime Gensho podcast. You guys are sick. That was actually a really good episode.
Yeah.
And it's really fun talking to you guys. And yeah, I guess I'll do our outro now. So thanks everyone for watching. If you want to subscribe to us, please do so. We put out episodes every 2 weeks. Leave a like, a dislike, a comment. DM us on our socials. On Instagram, we're Real Talk Anime. On Twitter, Real_Talk_Anime. And yeah, reach out to us. We're always down to talk, and we're also looking for more podcasters and other people to collaborate with. So for sure, if you want to be on our show, or if you want us on your show, we're 100% down. This is just the first of many, right? Right, guys?
of course. I actually have a podcast idea I want to tell you guys about. If you're
Oh yeah.
All right.
Okay. All right. We're about to finish recording. Let us know. But yeah, thank you so much, everyone, and have a good day. So thanks.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye-bye.